Hello everyone, I am Asta Jain, Assistant Professor in the Department of Economics, Ramanujan College. We are here to talk about a very interesting topic, which is the Union Budget of India. The aim of this video is to introduce the audience to a few basic things about budget, like what is the meaning of union budget, how is budget prepared, what are the various budget documents, how to read them, understanding some more technical jargons around budget, why is budget so important. Union budget, as you know, is one of the most watched event in India, from retailers, manufacturers, investors, industrialists, stockbrokers, common man. It is important to everyone as it affects us in some way or the other. The union budget is presented in front of both the houses usually on 1st of February. Department of Economics has been offering this paper Understanding the Union Budget and Economic Survey of India to the students of BA program as a skill enhancement course since 2016. This paper for me is like a journey into the current affairs, into understanding the finances of the government. It doesn't matter whether you are an economic student or not. Even if you are someone who wishes to study economic affairs, or maybe you are someone who wishes to sit for some competitive exam like UPSC, RBI, etc. If you do not have any economics background but are still inquisitive about the subject, then you are at the right place because this does not require any technical or mathematical or statistical knowledge, right? And so this video basically aims to build a general economic awareness around the budget of the government. Starting with the first question, what is union budget? What we mean by it? You know that the term budget refers to some kind of a plan regarding one's income and expenditure over a certain period of time. Budget of a government usually refers to a statement of government's receipts and expenditure for a particular year. Typically, the Union Budget of India, it's a comprehensive statement or annual financial statement of government, which is the technical name of it, relating to a particular year. Right, so there are various types of funds which the government can access. The first and the most important is the consolidated fund because all revenues received by the government, all receipts from recoveries of loan, any fresh loan that the government is raising, together constitutes one pool of money and it's called the consolidated fund. All expenditure of the government is incurred from this fund itself. The government is not allowed to take out any money from this fund without prior approval from the parliament. Right, then contingency fund is there which enables the government to incur any unforeseen expenditures, and in case of any emergency the government can take out money from the contingency fund. Then public account is basically, again, it does not belong to the government. This is not government's money. The government has to pay this money back at some point of time to the persons or authorities who deposited it. Next, we talk about a very important concept, which is the components of budget. They've been divided into two parts: revenue budget and capital budget. Revenue budget, again, has been divided into revenue expenditure and revenue receipts. So, revenue expenditure, they do not generally change any asset liability position of the country or of the government, right? And they are recurring in nature. The government has to incur these expenditures periodically from every budget. So for example, expenditure on food subsidy, petroleum subsidy, interest payment, salary of government employees, maintenance of law and order, etc. So these are the things which the government has to undertake periodically, right? Likewise, with revenue receipts, there is no change in the asset liability position. These are also recurring in nature. It consists of tax revenue and non tax revenue of the government. So, tax revenue, again, the government gets it from direct taxes, which is paid by people and companies from their income, like income tax, wealth tax, corporation tax, etc. And indirect taxes, which are paid by the consumers as part of the purchase price of goods and services, like GST, custom duties, etc. Non-tax revenue comes in the form of interest received in on loans, dividends and profits of the government, external grants, etc. Capital budget, as you can see, again is divided into two parts. capital revenue and capital expenditure. So, capital expenditure of the government usually increases the government's assets or it reduces the liabilities. Capital expenditure need not be incurred regularly from every budget, hence, they are non recurring in nature. So, for example, construction of a new flyover, repayment of loans, creation of offices, buildings, any expenditure that you're making on hospitals or educational institutions, etc. Likewise, capital revenue are those receipts that lead to a reduction in assets or an increase in the liabilities of the government. So, for example, if the government is borrowing from RBI, there will be inflow of money coming into the government account, but simultaneously, it also increases the government's liabilities. So, right. So, for example, if the government is borrowing from RBI, market, people, disinvestment proceeds, recovery of loans, these constitute capital revenue. All right. Now, we can also think about this in the following terms, like total expenditure is equal to revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure, while total revenue is equal to revenue receipts plus capital receipts. The budget is also classified according to different functions or services of the government for which the expenditure is met. For example, first one is general services, which includes expenditure incurred on maintenance of law and order, defense of the country, upkeep of general organs, interest payments, etc. Social and community services are expenditures on education, health, water supply, sanitation, social security, welfare, housing, etc. Then economic services are expenditures on various kinds of economic services such as foreign trade, export promotion. Then you can have industry, minerals, rural development, transport and communications, etc. Lastly, we have grants in aid and contributions, which is nothing but the money that government gets from external sources as help. All right. Next, we come to some of the budget, how the budget is prepared. Right. So, budget preparation consists of four stages. The first one is formulation. In this stage, each ministry and department is required to submit its individual budget to the finance minister. So they provide the budget estimates to the finance minister in terms of expenditure as well as revenue. The finance minister then holds meetings with various groups and stakeholders, including economists to get suggestions and recommendations. The final budget is then prepared. The second stage is enactment. Here, the finance minister presents the budget in the parliament, where discussions and voting happens before passing of the appropriation bill, which is an authorization to spend money from the consolidated fund, and the finance bill, which is meant for parliament's approval of the tax proposals of the government. Next, we have the implementation stage. In this stage, the implementation of budget starts economy wide. Lastly, we have audit. So, audit of various government expenditures and receipts takes place in this fourth stage. Now we see that what are the various budget documents. So the annual financial statement is not the only budget document. There are plenty of other documents which the finance minister submits to the parliament. For example, the budget speech, which highlights the main expenditure and tax proposal. Budget at a glance. It provides a brief overview on total funds raised and spending. Expenditure budget, it provides a detailed breakdown of the expenditure of each ministry. Annual financial statement we've already seen. Then we have the receipts budget, which is detailed information on the revenue raised by the government. Some other documents are also there, like appropriation bill, finance bill, memorandum of on the finance bill, macroeconomic framework, work, medium-term fiscal policy, which are there in accordance with the FRBM Act. Right. So here is then so these are the various budget documents which are there. Now the important aspect or knowledge is how to read these documents. If you visit the government site, they are all available publicly, but how do you go around reading them? So before we read the budget documents, there are few terms, few technical jargons which we should know in order to understand them. So, first one is major head. Major heads are four-digit codes which have been allotted to specific services delivered by the government. So, for example, 0 or 1, if the first digit is 0 or 1, then it stands for revenue receipt. 2 or 3 is for revenue expenditure. 4 or 5 is for capital account, and likewise, so there are other codes as well. Some example has been given here. So, if 0401 is for crop husbandry revenue receipt. Right. Then the other terms which we must understand are budget estimates, revised estimates, and actuals. So, take for instance the Union Budget for 2021 and 22, which was presented to the Parliament on 1st February 2021. In this budget, the central government provided the estimates of the receipts and expenditure during the financial year 2021-22. So these are called the budget estimates which are provided for 21-22. Now, but by the time the preparation of the budget 21-22 started, the central government should be able to know how much receipts have actually been accrued and how much expenditure have actually been incurred in the financial cycle of 2020-21. So on this basis, the government provides revised estimates in this year's budget document itself. Right, so these are known as revised estimates. Now, when the government is preparing the budget of 2021 and 22, it now has actual figures available for the year 2019 and 20, which are again provided in this budget document under the head actuals. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the documents. So this is for the year 2021-22. This is the latest available. This is revenue account receipts. As you can see, major head is given here, actual is given here for 2019-20, budget estimate for 2020-21 has also been provided. Then revised estimates are here, and the budget estimate for 2021-22 is also available. Again, you can see that the revenue account disbursements are also there. So, disbursement on general services and economic services, social services, as we discussed. So, again, you can see major head here, actuals, the budget estimate on 2020-21, the revised estimates 2020-21, and the budget estimates 2021 and 22. Right. There's You can also see the capital account expenditure side. Again, these five columns are available to us. The major head, the actuals, budget estimate 2020-21, revised estimates, and the current budget estimates which have been provided by the government. So, once you know how to sort of read this, then the reading the other budget documents would also become very simple once we know all these technical jargons. Now, lastly, we come to the question, why is budget so important? The budget is important because it informs us, the common man, the public, about how the government intends to earn the money and how it intends to spend that money. So, if the government is intending to earn the money through increasing taxes, then it affects us. How it spends the money, if it's spending the money on school, education, healthcare, then how it affects us. So, it's very important to have this knowledge of budget, where the government is spending money, how it's earning money. Again, it reflects the current state of the country's economy. It aids in controlling economic fluctuations. As you can see, in times of COVID also, the government tried and gave economic stimulus package, so that it does the COVID-19 does not lead to great economic fluctuations. Other than this, it also ensures proper handling of inflation and deflation in the country. So, I hope this video was helpful to everyone, and you have some basic understanding of the Union Budget of India. Thank you.